Hi dear friends and friendly subscribers, welcome back to my channel. This is Inner Hill Tarot, and today we're going to do a VR video to Candy Soul and Soil of Spring TTBR and Summer TTBR. What is TTBR? TTBR is the tarot to be read, and she's actually already done this hashtag since March, but I'm late to the party, so that's why I'm thinking of adding the summer TTBR as well, because then it's kind of like a review of the spring deck that I've been using, and also at the same time welcoming the summer tarot deck that I would like to read. And thank you so much to hashtag not hashtag handle Una Autumn, because she recently subscribed to my channel, and so I get to see her channel as well, and I get to stumble upon this hashtag by Candy Soul and Soil, and then I watched both of these ladies' videos, and I was like, oh my god, they're so mesmerizing. And basically this hashtag is about, also what I see is, other than the deck that they both going to use in spring and now summer, I know they're probably going to make the summer one, um, but also it's about pairing oracle and tarot deck in a very mesmerizing ways. I'm really captivating by Candy Soul and Soil channel. I think she's really tapped into your unconscious while she's giving out the cards, how she's pairing it, and they all look so gorgeous. But for me, I'm not there yet in a way, probably, or that's not the way I connect with the tarot. So instead of going to do the same way like this lady's doing, I'm going to add prompts um, to these hashtags, and I got it, and those prompts is I got it from this book, The Psychosynthesis, The Elements and Beyond. And please be patient with me. I'm explaining what it is, okay? So basically this all started when I did a tarot reading for myself for the month of June, what I supposed to do. And these three cards came out. You can check out my Instagram account, also Inner Hill Tarot. It's my almost daily reading to myself. And one of the cards that came out is the Seven of Wands, right? And the Seven of Wands is basically how I read it, is the one who can help me to harness the energy of Ksiti Garba, which is like the earth deity, into wisdom of the Empress from this deity Sarasvati. So I was kind of thinking, Seven of Wands, Seven of Wands, what is it, right? I even read the book of How to Read Tarot again by Jessica Wigan and Susan Levitt, and I'm kind of like connecting with it. By Susan Levitt is like, in numerology, 7 is the spiritual number, a number of questioning and seeking. So in tarot, 7 represents inner quest and wandering of a very high order. So I was kind of thinking based on that, and also from Jessica Wigan, in the personal spiritual path, it's like 7 of Wands in personal reading represents a phase in your life where you are called to find out exactly what you are made of. So based on those two books, I was kind of wondering, what should I do with this 7 of Wands? And then I connect with my other study, which is psychosynthesis. And in here, there is the way to synthesize your psychology, one of the ways is by the 7 ways. What is the 7 ways? The 7 ways is the way that your soul coming into the earth, based on this book saying. That's when your soul decided to reincarnate it, it's decided to live life based on certain ways. And there is like 7 general ways that being highlighted in this book. Number 1 is will, and 2 is love, activity, beauty, knowledge, devotion, and ritual. So based on this 7 ways category in the psychosynthesis, I'm kind of want to insert the idea of the 7 wands, so that will help me to understand the hermit mode here, the hermit archetype. What is all of this deck that I have trying to tell me, so I can bring out the Empress, or yeah, this video basically, right? The Empress is the one who's productive and have wisdom. So based on that, why don't we use this spring and summer tarot to be read based on the psychosynthesis way of the 7 ways. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the first, for example, the first way, the way of the will, what it is, and I will bring out all the deck that I'm going to work with when I'm going to work with my will. Okay, so I hope that explains my my variation of this spring TTBR and summer TTBR compared to the original video, to Candy Soul and Soil. I'm so blown away, by the way, by Candy Soul and Soil. How she does the video is really mesmerizing. Okay, so the first one is the way of the will, and sometimes it's called the heroic way, the way of leaders, good or bad. And the key to this way is the action and adventure. And the types is leader, adventurer, warrior, advocate, athlete, and builder. The people who live with the way of the will is basically willful, one-pointed, quick to action, prompt, decisive. And the objective is I choose to act, to express my free will. So when I see this prompt, the first prompt, the way of the will, is actually is the way I'm also seeing myself. Like, what kind of energy do I feel today? What do I want to connect with the energy today? And a lot of times I feel that kind of will energy is the energy of the dragons. Sometimes I tap and connect with it. So I'm thinking with this prompt, I feel that whenever I like confused with my will or something like that, I'm going to tap into the dragon energy with these decks basically, and pairing them up. I mean, I don't know, I have this Smoke, Ash and Embers deck, and also the Raffinus Dragon Tarot, that I feel it's very beautiful to get them paired up together. I'm going to, yeah, you see, something like this. And I think it's really beautiful as well, and because both are like the dragon energy. So look at this two, King of Wands is really interesting as well. And yeah, it's just to give a certain kind of dimension into the dragon. It's not just one dragon, or just the dragon in the high like high woods or something like that. um but also this one have like raven as well. So both of decks have raven also in it, so it's just like added depth into the deck, you know. Look at the strength and the four of swords. It's really, really beautiful in my opinion, to pairing them together, to understand the wheel that I would like to do that day. And for to add a different part of the reading as well, I'm thinking also to add the Oracle of the Dragon Fae as well by Lucy Cavendish, because I think it's just, this oracle deck is really beautiful and also quite mystical to me, because when I started to read with it, I swear you I swear to you, I started to see like fairy, the fae and stuff like that, and I was so surprised as well with what I saw, you know, because I don't know if I'm seeing it with myself or am I dreaming or something, but yeah, it's just, it's mesmerizing basically, these three decks together. I feel it's good pairing. I know you can tell that I'm quite rusty compared to Candy Soul and Soil, because I don't usually do VR video like this. Yeah, but this is a fun thing to learn, you know. So for example, like this Pendragon and the King of Swords. The Pendragon is the pure male energy in the dragon world, right? It's the lineage heritage with Arthur actually, and with this Five of Pentacles, they all look like very connected when to do the pairing, the reading together. I like it this way, you know. So that's, I think, whenever I'm connecting with the wheel, I think I'm going to go into these decks. And the other side of the wheel, because sometimes the wheel in the dragon can be also very fiery ones, right? It's not come from a real clarity in a way. So I'm also going to add another deck in case I'm confused. I'm gonna add the, oh, it's a bit smaller now. I'm going to add the Ananda Tarot by Ananda Kurtlitz, because it's always give me like a very calming feeling, this deck. So I feel it's also, it's added depth whenever I wanted to understand where is this wheel coming from. I can go to this deck and have a read together. Let's see. Like the Empress here looks like the dream catcher, almost the same. So beautiful. And also with the wands in here with the raven. This deck, the Ravenous Dragon Tarot, is also a very interesting deck actually, because it's very balanced between the dragon energy and the raven energy, you know. So it feels like fire and air is quite balanced like this, like in the strength card. And for me, yeah, I would pair these four decks together when I wanted to understand about what is my will this week. For example, maybe I will do like a 1 week reading ahead with this four, and then the next day with the other ways. That's what I will do actually. Okay, so that is prompt number 1. I hope you like it. And all of the decks is already have its own silent flip through. So if you guys want to check it out, you can check it out in my other videos. I will try to make a new playlist for this one, so if anyone interested, you can go to those videos specifically for silent flip through. Okay, so that is my first prompt, the way of the wheel. You cannot see anymore, the way of the wheel. Yeah. Okay guys, let's go to number 2. What is the prompt number 2? The prompt number 2 is, let's see again. This is also a really good book if you want to understand more about reading tarot from a psychology perspective, because it's also hinting about a little bit about the major arcana, by the way. So the second prompt is the way of love. What is the way of love? Love permeates all things, and the way of life is particularly difficult to separate from the other ways, yet it is a very specific path. People on this way tend to serve to humanity, whether through medicine and healing, or in more indirect ways. So this path is inclusiveness, the seeing the divine in everything. The key to this path is romance and relationships. It feels like very lover card. Types: actor, lover, parent, healer, counselor, teacher, gardener. Objective of this way is I desire to love, to help others express their highest potential. Okay, so for this second way, or the second prompt, what I do is the shadow work, basically the shadow work deck that I have, to work together with it, because sometimes I have parts of myself that I don't accept, and when that happens, things tend to be really hairy, actually. So I'm starting to work with this deck, the Stolen Child Tarot, and also I'm using, I think I'm going to use the Knowing. There's like a shamanic the shamanic idea of wisdom oracle deck by Shale Grove. It's very, very beautiful. And also I'm thinking of using the Power of Surrender cards by Judith Orloff, because sometimes when I don't accept things for myself, a lot of times I'm just like kerfuffle myself into one thing over and over again, you know. And yeah, sometimes I just become confused. So this is the deck that I'm going to use. Something like this. Oof, I forgot the other. I like this deck because it gives a lot of keywords, or the feeling of the energy, and it's kind of giving the whole emotion and come to life, in my opinion. So something like that. I feel this is really beautiful. So probably like for like this, surrender to the wisdom of your body, and this like mountain and 10 of Oaks. 10 of Oaks is like 10 of Pentacles, if I'm not wrong. So probably the happiness that I need to accept for me is to surrender, you know, to surrender to whenever my body needs rest, or whenever my body needs to just eat whatever it needs to eat. It's not like fixed into something, diet, you know, certain diet that's probably is not good for the body at that moment. And the mountain itself, it's giving me the feeling of the mountain pose in yoga, or it's like a downward dog, or the position of doing meditation like this. Downward dog in yoga is position to take a rest. So even like this, the stars is also like triangle. So maybe just like giving the body rest, something like this. So I really like this pairing as well. And other than that, I'm also thinking of, if I'm not doing with the Stolen Child Tarot, I'm thinking of doing shadow work with the Disorder Tarot of Innocence. That is also very nice, very black and white, and it's about the teenage early time of like I feel like when you're preteen, like age 12 or 13, like that, you're kind of start to become curious of your body and your sexuality. And I think this tarot deck is capturing exact that. When you have like a trauma during that period, it's a very good idea to work with this tarot deck, I feel. You know, to understand what holds you back, right? Things like this. And yeah, or otherwise I'm also thinking of using the Millennial Tarot as well for this prompt, the Way of Love, because I feel that sometimes I can be quite judgmental towards the millennial generation, and that is actually just the those judgment is just a projection, that things that I don't like about myself when I was in their age, right? So like this, you know, surrender, obsessive thinking, and self-care. It's like almost similar faces with the sun here. It's just, I think it's just a very beautiful pairing. And also with the millennial tarot, it's very punchy. So it's kind of like regaining back my punchy self when I was younger, without acting it out uncontrollably to other people or something like this. So yeah, I like this kind of pairings a lot. It's kind of give me the vibe of acceptance towards myself, towards the things that I don't like about myself, or things that sometimes I blame myself a lot of. Yeah, I think that is the way of love for me. So that is prompt number 2. Yeah. Okay. The way of love. Okay, now we go to prompt number 3. Oh, it's so many decks, starting to get messy. Sorry, guys. In a way, this is also a diary for me, you know, because then I know, oh yeah, when I need to accept myself, what should I do? So thank you so much to Candy Soul and Soil. So prompt number 3 that I see in here is the way of action. What is the way of action? Let's read the book again. So the way of action is the people for this type, there is no need for any ultimate goal. Okay. They are the one who's doing the activity, pragmatic and skillful, and deal with the element of earth very successfully. So they are like very grounded people basically, and their key is activity and intelligence, and the objective is I wish to know, to create from my resources. So for this prompt, the one that I've seen is you know, like these days a lot of the decks are made with the gold foil around it, like this citadel. So this is how I feel about it, because sometimes when I read under the candlelight, something like this, I can see some pathways immediately. So that's why I want to have this prompt filled with the decks that have gold foil on it. And the one that I like is from the oracle perspective is this citadel, because it's also very grounding oracle, even though it says it's fantasy oracle, but it's also give like a very very practical advice actually. And the other ones that I like about this is the Symbolic Soul Tarot by Elisa Setzinger. Oh my god, I really love this deck, because especially when I read in the moonlight, it's just giving our candlelight rather, it's just giving me exactly what I need to see, you know. So yeah. And it's funny because the Symbolic Soul Tarot is a quite I feel it's quite star seedy tarot deck, because it's a lot of the depiction is somewhere out there in the starlight or in the moon or something. So I would pair it also with the Weaver Tarot, I think. The Weaver Tarot, I have the Ascendant edition. It's also one of those decks that's like talk very loud and clear, and every time you work with it. So I think when I want to do an action, it's very easy when I work with these decks that have like gold or silver foiling, because my eyes is always directed to places that I needed to go to, you know, things like this. Let me see. Got this. Yeah, I like it because these days the creators make a lot of beautiful gold foiled or silver foiled decks, you know. So it's really nice to read under the when it's dark under the candlelights, because it's giving me a lot of more insights, and I'm only see things that I needed to see actually. It's very, very beautiful between these three. And it's funny, it doesn't feel like summertime at all, because it's all so dark, you know, and it's not flowery or something. But I don't mind. Sometimes when you do action, you need to have like black and white, right? And if it's not summery enough, then I think I will get another deck, of course, that will hold up the story together of this tree with the life design cards by Lisa McLaughlin, because this is the one that actually tying up together, I think. Because with the Weaver Tarot, you kind of like weave what you want to do, what makes you ascend, right? And the Citadel is the how, but and the Symbolic Soul Tarot is the where are your soul at this moment, right? What kind of energy that you have right now. But this Lisa McLaughlin design is actually almost the same with the Citadel Oracle, but more, to me, it's more grounded as well. So it's not just conceptual and things that highlighted in the gold foil. So that is my third prompt that I will work with this spring and summer. Spring is almost gone already. So this summer, this is how I'm going to do it when I need to do some action. Yeah. And you can follow my Instagram as well to see how I'm using them, you know. And also you can comments as well if you're using them together, or how do you work on your tarot decks during spring and summer, because also that will be really interesting for me to learn from you, and that is a really cool thing to do, to learn new things. Thank you. So prompt number 4, we're almost halfway done, is the way of beauty. The way of beauty in this psychosynthesis book is saying the way of beauty are the way of people who are creative and intuitive, and they see divine in all forms as well. And the key to this way to work on yourself is the beauty and artistic expression. And the objective is, I wish to live in harmony, to express my artistic abilities. It feels like Tiferet in a Kabbalistic tree of life to me. And for me, the beauty, the way of the beauty is the way of photography, because that is the first ways that I understand my life, and I got to get away from the wretched way of life that I lived before. So I'm forever grateful to photography to enable me to see beauty in the mundane world, and also to enable me to work with creativity, you know, and actually making money and make it into profession. So this, the way of beauty for me in here is all the deck of photography first, and this is the recent decks that I acquire of photographic decks. I know that like there are several other photographic decks that famous, like Somnia deck, but I haven't really called to work with it yet, even though the photography technique is superb. And I decided to work with these 3 decks this summer when I want to see the beauty in the mundane, I guess. So for example, these 2 decks is come from the same artist called Leah Schumann. And the way she does things are really beautiful. What she does is she goes to places, take pictures, and she does create land magic in those area that she goes to, and then she imbue her tarot deck with the energy of that place, so that when we use her cards, we also connect it with the land magic that she does. So basically you got a space already to, first of all, see the beauty of the place, of course, but also to connect with what she does. She's doing earth grid ley line energy healing. So for example, if there is a place that in conflict and we want to send good energy towards that region, you can use with her decks. Basically, it's really beautiful. The concept that they do, it's really the concept that she does is really interesting. Actually, look at these two decks together, and I know her decks from because her decks is actually collected by the MIT library, so that's why I was surprised, you know, with their collection. Some of them are really, really good. Some is like quite blah, but I'm glad that I got these decks. The first one is the True North Tarot, to understand your real calling in life. And I was blown away with this deck. The energy is so calming, you know. And another deck that I love about the photography is the deck by Alice Smith, actually. This is the deck that she made with photography technique in Haiti. This is also part of the collection by the MIT as well. So she was like fundraising, if I'm not wrong, by taking pictures of the people there, with like tarot in mind, you know. So of course it's beautiful, and that is one of the reason I really love photography as well, because it can transport you, it can take you somewhere else. You know, you don't need to be stuck in one place. You can see things differently with photography, with the power of editing, like reframing. In photography, reframing is a big deal, right? Just 1 inch to the left or to the right, the picture that you created is totally different. So that's why I really love the way these two artists using photography to do tarot work, really, to do the energy healing work for the planets and also for their audiences, right? So beautiful. So that is the way of beauty, and I will use these decks whenever I need to, whenever I feel despair, when I expose to news too much and I need to break away from that pattern of thinking and to see the world as a beautiful place again. I will use these decks. Yeah. Okay. So that is that. That is prompt number 4. Sorry, there's too many boxes around me right now, and that's why I'm too slow and I don't do editing for my video. I hope it's okay and you can skip it forward. I don't mind. Just don't leave. Okay? Alright. So let's do the next prompt. The next prompt is number 5, the way of science. What is the way of science? The way of science is using the mind in both its abstract and concrete modes with strong intuition and imagination. These types love exploring and are often filled with waves of curiosity. So the key in here is scientific investigation, and objective is I wish to discover nature mysteries to invent new technology. And boy, for this is for me also, it's very earthy prompt. It's kind of like, for me, the way of the science is also the understanding of the land, right? The understanding of the land. So I think I will try to use again the pastoral tarot, because I live in this kind of regions, to understand more of the area, you know. And I think I will pair it with The Woodland Wardens by Jessica Rue. The Woodland Wardens, like, oh my god, it's like a staple for a lot of people, I think, because it's just so beautiful, this deck. And yeah, especially for people like me who live in this region of the earth, it's to work with them in spring and summer is really, really beautiful, I think, you know. And the color, I love the way she captures the plants and the energy of the animal together. To me, it's really prompt, and to capture the energy of the earth, you know, what are we supposed to do at this time, kind of thing. And also I love to pairing it as well with the Majestic Earth Tarot, to just give even more so, you know, to give more imprinting. It's very place based. The science of understanding space and time, you know, this way. Because sometimes I think we can be quite not patient. So I think the way of science is the way of patience as well, because when you do scientific observation, you cannot be in a hurry. Like a flower is not blooming in 1 minute, right? It's at least like 1 hour, 2 hours. So basically the path of science, the path of the earth, is something that I would like to work with these decks when I need to understand the patience and when I need to observe things, you know. And that there is two different legs also on these things. The pastoral tarot, I'm probably going to work with it whenever I go out from my city base place in London into the coastal region or in the woodlands more, and just have the sense of feelings there, you know. That is that. And the other decks that I would like to include is also the Herbal Astrology deck, Oracle by Adriana Ayales. You know, this deck is also very beautiful to work when you want to work with the plant medicine, like ayahuasca, or with the mushrooms, or with the cannabis, marijuana. This deck is really, really beautiful. And also the colors of these three decks together is quite earthy, it's give me the feeling of balancing, you know, balancing the other energy. And it's really give me the energy of patience. No need to hurry. There is no tomorrow, there is no yesterday, there is only now, the eternal now in the earth region. So yeah, it's just these decks are just decks that give me the feeling of now kind of feeling, you know. There's no need to go anywhere else. And last but not least, I'm also going to incorporate this more magical botanical oracle. I love how chunky the guidebook is in this one, because also it's first of all, it's kind of different. It has the quality of the shadow energy of this tree, of the earth deck, you know. So probably it's more like the poisonous plants, or like the shadow side of energy of the earth. That's probably stagnation or rooting too deep, forgot already how to untangle yourself, you know. It's just really beautiful pairings. Yeah, I love this way of science. I think I'm going to use it more in the summertime, when I'm going to start to work with the plants more, I think. And it's more action in the earth, right? So that is, yeah, that is the way of science that I'm thinking of combining. I will report more in the Instagram, of course. Oh, one more thing I forgot, you see. There is still one more that I would like to work as well. It's this deck, the Botanical Deck by Kevin J. Stanton. This is also the deck that is very inspiring, but it's not very easy to use actually, and it's need a dedicated time to work with, you know. And I think I'm going to pair it together like this. I think I'm going to pair it together. Sorry, it's so messy here now. Together like this, because it is takes some time to actually work it out. Like the symbolism of on this deck is not very clear, so it takes time to understand what things means. Like this is, I think it's strength or something with the forever symbol, not sure. So this is the High Priestess with Belladonna. Look at this pairing, it's so beautiful actually. Is this clear? Or yeah, now it's clear. Going to make it even more, yeah, something like this. I like this. This is like a summertime, summer evening reading, something like that. This is the Empress with Magnolia, covered with willow. Yeah, I can imagine work with these two decks outside actually. Ivy, Cedra Helix. So beautiful. Okay, now I'm excited. I'm excited for summer. looking forward. Alright, so that is the prompt number 5, the way of science. God, this deck is so beautiful. I think I should dedicate 1 month just work with flower decks as well. Like from the Jonas Sajos, from this deck, and all the flower decks. I think it would be appropriate for me. Okay, moving on. That is the prompt number 5, the way of the science. Moving on, and now the prompt number 6. Number 6 is the way of devotion. So what is the way of devotion? Let's read from the book again. The book says, the way of devotion is the way of mysticism, a devotion to a god, guru, ideal, and or cause. The devotion of this type is intense, and they are often completely dedicated to their work. Okay. The key for this prompt is passion plays, and objective is I aspire to uphold my ideal and to transcend the ordinary. Okay, so for this prompt, I use the Siddhartha Tarot, the one that I've been using so far this time around, since May actually, because May is the month of the Buddha, when he was born, and then he's going through trials and tribulations. That's why I have these 3 cards came out, right? And then also when he gained enlightenment, basically. That's when it started. And with that, I'm also have a different devotion cards as well. I don't pairing this up with others right now. I'm just gonna do it single-handedly, because the type of the Buddha and the Dakinis in here is quite deep already for me to read and understand. Like, for example, only with this card itself, it's created this whole video. So the type of the deck in this the way of the number 6 is quite intense, and it's not really necessary to read it with the other decks, I feel, because the symbolism is just super deep. And I have the unboxing of this video in Stonehenge that you can check it out as well in the hashtag Traveling Tarot. So that's one of the way of the devotion deck. And another one, well, another 2 basically, is these 2 deck, the Mystic of the Magdalene, and one is still a secret. I give you a hint. This deck, I got it from South Africa, and if you're new what I'm talking about, and I think the Mystic Magdalene should be a hint for you. And I will do this number 6, the way of devotion, on location with the Traveling Tarot. So I'm not gonna open this one now. Okay, so hold your breath. It's going to be a beautiful ride. Okay, so the last prompt is the way of ritual. Okay, the way of ritual. Let's see, what is it? The way of ritual is the way of magic, of organizing matter in such a way as to change consciousness, both in the inner and outer planes. People of this type tend to be organizers, making order out of chaos. The key is organization and magic. The objective is I wish to bring order out of chaos and to live spontaneously. And with this prompt, oh my god, what more suitable decks than the or alchemical decks? Alchemy. I need to pick one. Alchemy, alchemical visions, tarot, and tarot of magical correspondences. I'm not going to do, oh yeah, one more thing is the archetypal deck by Archetypes Oracle deck by Kim Krans as well. I'm not going to open these decks in here because it's the magical workings. So yeah, the magical workings for me is a very sacred and secret way of doing tarot. So I'm not going to let you know how I'm pairing things. But I'm letting you know what kind of decks that I'm using whenever I use the ritual. Okay, and also one more deck that's coming into this this prompt is the deck of the Mystic Keys from also Eugene Vinitsky that just came out from fresh from the oven of Kickstarter decks. So yeah, hold your breath for its unboxing and silent flip through. But yeah, thank you so much guys for being with me for this spring TTBR and summer TTBR VR to Candy Soul and Soil VR video. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy it or not, if it feels choppy. I mean, I understand if it's choppy because I'm not Candy Soul and Soil, you know, but I hope you enjoyed this video and do let me know what do you think. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. That's the fastest way for you to be able to help me keep expanding this channel. And thank you so much again guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye.